The series kicks off by introducing Mu Ting-jo, a famous actor, who is deeply engrossed in studying the script for his upcoming film. With unwavering dedication to his craft, Ting-jo immerses himself in his role, visualizing the character in the script to ensure he gives his absolute best during the filming process. The story then shifts its focus to a girl named Min-wei, who captivates the attention of many with her exceptional talent for playing the Chinese plug zither. She works part-time as a cameo in an advertisement for traditional Chinese musical instruments. After the shoot, Min-wei rushes off without changing out of her traditional attire, because she has another part-time job as an Italian language translator. When she arrives at an upscale restaurant for her next job, Min-wei is introduced as the translator for an Italian investor who wishes to collaborate with Ting-jo. However, during the meeting, it becomes apparent that Ting-jo is fluent in Italian, leaving Min-wei feeling redundant as a translator. After the meeting ends, she plucks up the courage to request an autograph from Ting-jo, who is a top actor. Unfortunately, he responds with coldness and rejects her request. Meanwhile, Ting-jo's assistant, Shou-zhao, who had also attended the meeting with the investor, bumped into a newcomer actress named Wang Yingying while having a meal with her boyfriend, Chang Yao, a young CEO of a well-known company. When Yingying learned that Ting-jo was at the same restaurant, she invited Chang Yao to meet the senior actor. Shou-zhao then introduced Chang Yao to Ting-jo as an investor in several domestic film productions. Min-wei, who was still in the restaurant, was surprised to see Chang Yao being affectionate with Yingying, even though he was her boyfriend. Min-wei talked privately with Chang Yao, expressing her disappointment with him for toying with the emotions of a poor girl like her. She also asked him to end their relationship. After Chang Yao left, she cried in a corner of the restaurant, feeling betrayed by him. Ting-jo and Shou-zhao, witnessing her sadness, felt sympathy. Ting-jo offered his handkerchief to wipe away Min-wei's tears, which had smudged her makeup. The actor also invited her to take a photo together, briefly lifting her spirits and helping her forget her heartbreak. Back at home, Min-wei saw Chang Yao waiting for her, but she chose to ignore him, even though he had come to apologize and explain that he had no feelings for Yingying. He begged Min-wei to take him back, but she refused, believing she wasn't worthy of Chang Yao from a wealthy family. Chang Yao continued to plead, even trying to grab Min-wei's hand, until Min-wei's younger sister, Min-kao, saw it, hit him, and drove her sister's ex-boyfriend away. A little later, as Min-wei and Min-kao were chatting at home, Min-wei received a message offering her a role in a historical drama. They were both overjoyed, especially because being in a big drama had always been Min-wei's dream. The next day, with Min-kao's unwavering support, Min-wei went to the casting with great enthusiasm. Despite a brief encounter with Yingying, who insulted her skills, Min-wei showcased her acting talent and played the traditional zither. She managed to impress the director and film producer. Ting-jo, who was also at the audition for his co-star, was impressed by Min-wei's abilities, and she was eventually chosen as the female lead in the drama. After the casting process, Min-wei and Ting-jo had script readings and did regular exercises to stay fit for filming. When all the pre-production preparations were done, the entire cast and crew started filming. Unfortunately, Min-wei appeared nervous and couldn't focus on her acting, which disappointed the director. Ting-jo tried to explain to the director that it was Min-wei's first time in a leading role, and she was still nervous. After hearing Ting-jo's explanation, the director decided to give Min-wei a second chance. Meanwhile, Min-wei was feeling down, so she decided to have lunch alone and think about her acting, which she wasn't happy with. Shortly after, a fellow actor named Chan Zheng, who was also in the same drama, approached Min-wei. He wanted to comfort her, so he invited her to have lunch and encouraged her to do her best. While this was happening, Ting-jo, who was having lunch with Shou-zhao in a van nearby, discreetly observed how close Min-wei and Chan Zheng were getting. Later that evening, at the hotel where the cast and crew were staying, Min-wei approached Ting-jo to ask for advice on improving her acting. Although Ting-jo was a bit distant, he still offered some guidance to Min-wei and quickly asked her to return to her room. After closing his room's door, Ting-jo peeked through the peephole and saw Min-wei looking enthusiastic after receiving his advice. The following day on the filming location, Shou-zhao playfully teased Ting-jo during lunch. He noticed how close Min-wei and Chan Zheng were as they chatted in front of Chen Zheng's minivan. Although Ting-jo was curious about Min-wei and Chan Zheng's relationship, he claimed not to be interested in any romance outside of the drama script he was working on. During the filming, Ming-wei received compliments from the director for her consistently improving acting skills. She was overjoyed and thanked Ting Zhao for his earlier advice. On another occasion, Ming-wei once again earned praise for her portrayal of a royal princess falling for the kingdom's commander, played by Ting Zhao. She was delighted because her hard work had paid off, and the director was pleased. One day, after they finished shooting, Chang Yao, one of the investors behind the drama, visited the filming location to check on the progress. Ming-wei felt uneasy with her ex-boyfriend being there, especially when she found out that Chang Yao was funding the drama she was starring in. In the evening, Ming-wei and the other cast members went to a restaurant for a dinner invitation from Chang Yao. When they greeted Chang Yao at the restaurant, Chen Zheng was unhappy with Chang Yao's interest in Ming-wei, which made her uncomfortable. But Chen Zheng couldn't do much because he was a junior actor who needed support, including from investors. After Chen Zheng left, Chang Yao tried to grab Ming-wei's arm, and when Ting Zhao arrived, he quickly pulled Chang Yao's hand away from her. This angered Chang Yao, but he chose to back down to avoid problems with the respected actor in the entertainment industry. Ting Zhao, realizing that Ming-wei didn't want to attend the dinner, asked her to leave early and offered to help her study the drama script. The next day, Ming-wei found it hard to focus on her role because she was thinking about quitting the drama to avoid Chang Yao, who was an investor. After the shoot, she went to a place set up by Chang Yao to meet with him. There, she told him she wanted to leave the drama and return her fee. Chang Yao was disappointed, especially after arranging a special meeting place, and he hoped she would reconsider their relationship. However, Ming-wei apologized for not being able to get back together with him and decided to distance herself. Ming-wei went to a restaurant to have dinner alone, trying to calm her mind. Coincidentally, she ran into Ting Zhao and Shou Zhao, who had chosen the same restaurant. Seeing Ming-wei looking sad, Shou Zhao asked her what was wrong. She shared her concerns about having to pay a penalty for not completing the drama and her feeling of unworthiness for landing the lead role just because of her relationship with Chang Yao, who was the investor. Shou Zhao then revealed that it was not Chang Yao but Ting Zhao who had recommended her as the female lead to the producer. Ming-wei was surprised and grateful, so she hugged Ting Zhao to show her appreciation. Another day, filming resumed, and the director decided to add a kissing scene between the princess and the kingdom's commander to make the drama more exciting. The director explained his reasons to Ting Zhao and Ming-wei, because Ting Zhao had initially refused to do a kissing scene with his co-star. Unexpectedly, Ting Zhao changed his mind and agreed to the idea, which pleased the director. Ming-wei also didn't object to doing the kissing scene with her co-star. In the evening at the hotel, Shou Zhao playfully teased Ting Zhao for agreeing to a kissing scene in the drama and film he was starring in. Shou Zhao was curious if Ting Zhao had changed his mind because of Ming-wei being his co-star. When asked this question, Ting Zhao tried to change the topic because he didn't want to discuss it. On another occasion, Ting Zhao took the initiative to invite Ming-wei to watch a romantic movie at a cinema to improve their chemistry before filming the upcoming kissing scene. While at the cinema, they both felt awkward and embarrassed, especially after seeing a kissing scene in the film they were watching. This made Ting Zhao hold Ming-wei's hand when he went to get drinks. After the movie, Ting Zhao took Ming-wei to a park to enjoy its beauty. After parking the car, he asked her to rehearse the upcoming drama scene by kissing him. Although Ming-wei felt embarrassed, she tried to be professional and moved her face closer to Ting Zhao's. He seemed nervous, even having trembling hands. Seeing his nervousness, Ming-wei chose not to kiss him. Meanwhile, Shou Zhao was having dinner with Ming Cao, who was alone on the filming location because she couldn't meet with her sister, who was currently out with Ting Zhao. Ming Cao appeared to be impressed by Shou Zhao's kindness towards her. The following morning, Ting Zhao and Ming-wei were seen getting ready before heading to the filming location. They made sure their breath was fresh because they were going to do a kissing scene that the director wanted. On set, the director was pleased with how the kissing scene went between Ting Zhao and Ming-wei. The director praised Ming-wei's acting skills, even though she was new to the world of drama, and thanked Ting Zhao for agreeing to do the scene. After they finished filming, Ting Zhao used lip balm to avoid direct contact with Ming-wei's lips, which surprised her. Some time later, the filming of the drama finally ended, and the entire crew and cast had a simple celebration on set. The director thanked everyone and was proud of Ming-wei's acting abilities. He also commended Ting Zhao for recognizing Ming-wei's talent during casting, because he had originally planned to choose another actress. However, after Ting Zhao provided suggestion, the director gave Ming-wei the opportunity to be the female lead. Ming Wei expressed her gratitude to Ting Zhao for trusting her and started to feel sad because she wouldn't be working with him again. In the evening, when the crew invited Ming Wei to join them for karaoke, she apologized for not being able to join. Ting Zhao, who had been secretly listening to Ming Wei's conversation with the crew, pretended to wait in front of the elevator that Ming Wei would use so he could talk to her. Unfortunately, when they got into the elevator, Ting Zhao felt awkward and stayed silent until Ming Wei thanked him again and expressed her hope to work with him on another film project. The next morning, Ming Wei left the hotel, leaving Ting Zhao feeling sad because he couldn't say goodbye to her. He could only watch as Ming Wei got close to Chanzhong, who helped her with her luggage into a taxi. While saying farewell to Chanzhong, Ming Wei felt sad that she hadn't had the chance to see Ting Zhao before leaving. Back at home, Ting Zhao, unable to forget Ming Wei's presence, continued to look at her photo on his laptop. Shou Zhao, aware of this, reminded Ting Zhao to move on from the drama with Ming Wei, especially since he had to prepare for his next project. Shou Zhao suggested that Ting Zhao take a vacation to help him let go of the past, or if that didn't work, express his feelings to her so that he could focus on his career in the entertainment industry. On another day, Ming Wei headed to her agency's office after receiving offers to act in 2 historical dramas. Her manager, Sensu, asked her to choose one of the dramas to be a part of. Remembering Ting Zhao's advice to play the lead role in the next project, Ming Wei decided to accept the offer that made her the female lead, even though the drama didn't feature famous actors and actresses. During a meeting with the cast, Ming Wei learned that she would be acting alongside Ying Ying, who played the second female lead in the drama. Although Ming Wei wanted to avoid Ying Ying, who always underestimated her acting abilities, she tried to stay calm, even when they were both in the restroom, where Ying Ying continued to boast in front of Ming Wei. A few days later, Ming Wei met Ting Zhao again because they had to do voice acting for the final scene of the drama. Ming Wei wanted to get into the character of the princess and deliver good voice acting, so she hugged Ting Zhao. However, this made Ting Zhao lose focus, and they made some mistakes. After they finished their work, Ting Zhao saw Ming Wei standing alone in front of a building. He offered to give her a ride home because it was raining heavily, but Ming Wei's taxi had arrived, so she chose to take it. Ting Zhao ended up going home alone, and during the drive, he couldn't stop thinking about his encounter with Ming Wei, which had distracted him and led to an accident. When Shou Zhao and Ting Zhao's parents heard about the accident, they rushed to the hospital to check on him. The doctor told Ting Zhao's parents, Mu Chong and Dao Jing, that their son had lost some of his memory due to a head injury from the accident. Shou Zhao contacted Ming Wei and told her about the accident. Without hesitation, Ming Wei rushed to the hospital, hoping to finally express her feelings to him. Upon reaching the hospital, Ming Wei was puzzled by Ting Zhao's sudden change in behavior. He saluted her and treated her like the princess from their drama. It turned out that Ting Zhao only remembered their story as it was in the drama. Although confused, Ming Wei decided to play along and act like the royal character to make Ting Zhao stop treating her with so much respect. When she met Ting Zhao's parents, they asked Ming Wei to continue playing the role of the princess to help with Ting Zhao's memory. They urged him to undergo psychotherapy for amnesia treatment, and Dao Jing pleaded with Ming Wei to consider it since she was the only person Ting Zhao trusted at the moment. Ming Wei was puzzled by the request and hadn't given an answer yet. On another occasion, Shou Zhao invited Ming Wei for a private talk and gave her Ting Zhao's diary, which was filled with notes about Ming Wei and the princess she portrayed. As she read the diary, Ming Wei felt touched and surprised that Ting Zhao had been secretly paying attention to her and noting down all her suggestions to become a successful actress. The next day, after Ting Zhao was discharged from the hospital, Shou Zhao took him to Ming Wei's house. Shou Zhao explained that Ting Zhao, still believing he was a royal commander, thought he had traveled to the future. When they arrived at Ming Wei's home, Ting Zhao immediately saluted when he saw her and expressed concern about her life without royal servants. Ming Wei and Shou Zhao tried to explain that in the present time, people could do things on their own, but Ting Zhao didn't pay attention to their explanations. He insisted on staying to serve her in the house. Shou Zhao came up with various excuses to persuade Ting Zhao, and fortunately, he finally agreed to stay at his home. Upon returning home, Shou Zhao began teaching Ting Zhao how to use electronic devices like tablets and phones. Surprisingly, despite his amnesia, Ting Zhao quickly grasped everything Shou Zhao taught him. In the evening, Ting Zhao asked Shou Zhao to help him contact Ming Wei via phone. During their video call, Ting Zhao saluted Ming Wei to bid her goodnight. He also promised to find the person who had harmed them so they could return to the Ming dynasty and live happily. Ming Wei could only remain silent as she watched Ting Zhao continue to treat her like the royal princess. Later on, after ending his call with Ming Wei, Ting Zhao asked Shou Zhao about the work they were currently doing. Shou Zhao explained that they were both actors who had just finished a drama. When Ting Zhao learned that the drama he and Ming Wei had acted in was about to air, he became upset. He asked Shou Zhao to prevent the drama from being broadcast on television because he believed the princess should always be respected. Shou Zhao explained that it couldn't be done and showed Ting Zhao a photo of him kissing Ming Wei. Seeing the photo, Ting Zhao felt guilty, thinking he had behaved improperly toward the princess. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen with the intention of harming himself, but Shou Zhao immediately stopped his reckless actions. The next day, Ting Zhao fulfilled his duty to take care of the princess. He ordered his servant, Zhao, to cook and help Ming Wei with household chores. Ming Wei and Ming Cao, who had just woken up, were surprised to find breakfast prepared for them by Zhao. They were puzzled by the unexpected help but didn't refuse, especially when Zhao expressed her happiness at assisting Ting Zhao in his recovery from amnesia. Meanwhile, Shou Zhao approached Sen Su to offer his services as Ming Wei's temporary manager so that he could continue monitoring Ting Zhao, who was being very protective of Ming Wei. After the meeting, Shou Zhao asked Ming Wei to accompany Ting Zhao to see a psychologist because Ting Zhao would only follow her orders. To aid in Ting Zhou's amnesia treatment, Ming Wei accompanied him to therapy sessions with the psychologist. A few days later, Ming Wei was invited to be a bridesmaid at her college friend's wedding. She and her friends were busy preparing and appeared joyful about the upcoming wedding. At the same time, Ting Zhao asked Shou Zhao why Ming Wei hadn't come to his house that day, and Shou Zhao informed him that she was serving as a bridesmaid at her friend's wedding. Hearing this, Ting Zhao became curious about the term bridesmaid and looked it up on the internet. After reading various articles and seeing photos of bridesmaids, Ting Zhao became upset and worried about Ming Wei being at the party with other men. At Ming Wei's friend's wedding, the bride appeared jealous of Ming Wei being the center of attention. She called Ming Wei to the stage and announced in front of everyone that Ming Wei was still single. The bride then invited all the men at the party to come on stage if they wanted to be Ming Wei's boyfriend. The men rushed onto the stage, surrounding Ming Wei and making her uncomfortable. At the same time, Ting Zhao arrived at the wedding reception and fought off the men bothering Ming Wei. After successfully dealing with them, Ting Zhao covered Ming Wei with a cloth and carried her away from the venue. He didn't remove the cloth even when she was inside the car, because he didn't want her wearing revealing clothes that attracted other men. Some time later, a video of the incident at the wedding went viral, and the media started gossiping about Ting Zhao and Ming Wei's relationship. Both of their management teams had to provide clarifications on social media. Ming Wei's parents, Ming Cheng and Zheng Yuwei, were worried about their daughter after seeing the news online. They contacted Ming Wei and asked her to cancel the drama she was starring in with Ting Zhao, but she couldn't do that. She reassured her parents that she would resolve the issue soon. Zheng Yuwei also suggested canceling the drama's broadcast to prevent her biological father from finding out. The next day, Ting Zhao's mother and Shou Zhao held a press conference to address the reports about Ting Zhao and Ming Wei's relationship. They explained Ting Zhou's amnesia condition and how he only remembered his role in the drama with Ming Wei, leading to his protective behavior. Dao Jing also apologized for involving Ming Wei in her son's issues. Looking for ways to keep an eye on Ming Wei, Ting Zhao visited her house and prepared a special meal. He asked her to eat first, but she declined, explaining that everyone was equal in the present time. She invited Ming Cao and Shou Zhao to join them for the meal. Afterward, Ting Zhao took Ming Wei shopping for new clothes, thinking her current attire was too revealing. He bought her expensive items and insisted on carrying her shopping bags. When they returned home, they were surprised by Chang You's presence. He offered Ming Wei a leading role in a drama and a reality show, but she declined, not wanting to benefit from nepotism. She asked him to stop contacting her, but Chang You was persistent. Ting Zhao stepped in to confront Chang You, fearing he might harm Ming Wei. Meanwhile, Ming Cao had an unpleasant encounter at an aerial yoga class and ended up in a dispute with a man who reported her for injuring his hand. Shou Zhao, who came to pick her up, threatened the man with legal action if he pursued the matter in court. Frightened, the man chose to settle the matter amicably. Shoujiao quickly took Ming Kao to a hotel to stay temporarily since Mingwei was at Ting Zhou's house to avoid Changyao. After escorting Ming Kao, Shoujiao returned to Ting Zhou's house. However, Ting Zhou, not wanting any other men there while Mingwei was present, asked Shoujiao to leave. Despite his annoyance, Shoujiao eventually complied with his school friend who was suffering from amnesia. A few days later, Mingwei completed her acting classes, and Ting Zhou immediately picked her up to take her back to his house. She was surprised to find servants at Ting Zhou's house, all dressed in traditional servant attire. He had even decorated a room for her to resemble the princess's room from their drama, and prepared a traditional zither for her. Another day, Mingwei asked Shoujiao to deliver a gift to her younger sister, and thanked him for his extensive help and care for Ming Kao. Shoujiao hurriedly met Ming Kao and escorted her to her workplace. During the journey, she received a message from her father, who had arrived in Shanghai and would be visiting Mingwei at Ting Zhou's house. Ming Cheng had entered Ting Zhou's house and confronted him when he couldn't recognize him. Fortunately, Zhao arrived to break up the fight, and shortly after Mingwei, Ming Kao and Shoujiao arrived. Mingwei tried to explain to her father why she was staying at Ting Zhou's house to help with his amnesia, but Ming Cheng didn't accept her explanation. He asked her to return home with him. Ting Zhou apologized and invited Ming Cheng to have a private conversation in his room. Mingwei and the others were curious about their discussion, especially when Ming Cheng and Ting Zhou left the room on friendly terms, and Ming Cheng asked Mingwei to marry Ting Zhou. That evening, Shoujiao was at a bar when Ming Kao contacted him, because the lights in her house suddenly went out. Worried, Shoujiao rushed to check on Ming Kao and helped her restore the electricity. While they were inspecting the electrical panel, they stood close to each other, feeling a bit nervous and awkward. After successfully fixing the power in Ming Kao's house, Shoujiao said goodbye and went home. On another day, Mingwei went to her agency's office to prepare for a new drama she was starring in. To her surprise, she encountered Chan Zheng, who had turned down another drama offer with higher pay to work alongside her. Chen Zheng had made this decision because he wanted to act alongside Mingwei, even though it meant canceling a more lucrative contract. During filming, Ting Zhou appeared as Mingwei's bodyguard. He was taken aback when he saw Chan Zheng, whom he remembered as the prince from their previous drama. Mingwei explained Ting Zhou's condition to Chan Zheng and asked for understanding regarding Ting Zhou's sometimes overly protective behavior. She clarified to Ting Zhou that Chan Zheng was her colleague, not a prince. However, despite her explanations, Ting Zhou still felt jealous of the bond forming between Chan Zheng and Mingwei during filming. He consistently tried to keep Chan Zheng from getting too close to Mingwei, even during breaks. Meanwhile, in an aerial yoga class, Ming Kao taught Shoujiao some aerial yoga moves, leaving him fascinated by her. However, he reminded himself that Ming Kao was Mingwei's younger sister, and he considered her like a sister too. One night, Mingwei secretly went to the filming location without Ting Zhou's knowledge because she had to shoot a kissing scene with Chan Zheng. However, the scene didn't go well as Ting Zhou unexpectedly showed up and attacked Chan Zheng while he was acting the kiss with Mingwei. This incident led Mingwei to take Ting Zhou back home, where he expressed his guilt to the emperor for not protecting her. The following day, Shoujiao advised Ting Zhou not to disrupt the filming location again and explained Mingwei's profession as an actress who had to act professionally in such scenes. This made Ting Zhou realize his romantic feelings for Mingwei. A few days later, Mingwei fell ill after shooting a scene in the pouring rain, and Ting Zhou, aware of her condition, took care of her and drove her home. Shoujiao and Zhou discussed Ting Zhou's attentiveness to Mingwei, suspecting his feelings for her, while Ting Zhou just smiled as he listened. Later, he visited Mingwei in her room and proposed to marry her. Mingwei, though having feelings for him, declined, wanting to marry someone who saw her as herself, not someone else. On another day, as Mingwei was about to film a horseback riding scene, Chan Zheng offered to teach her, which made Ting Zhou jealous. He quickly joined them for the practice, but during the actual shoot, Mingwei's horse ran uncontrollably, and they both fell into a ravine. Ting Zhou was injured and briefly lost consciousness. He was taken to the hospital, and Mingwei never left his side, hoping for his recovery. When Ting Zhou woke up, he still called her princess due to his amnesia. In gratitude for saving her, Mingwei took care of him, and this bond pleased Shoujiao and Ming Kao. The following day, Mingwei returned to her job as an actress. At Ting Zhou's request, Shoujiao stepped in as her assistant temporarily. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Chanjung visited Team Zhou and shared his thoughts about a potential relationship between Team Zhou and Mingwei. He didn't oppose it but worried about Mingwei getting hurt if Team Zhou's amnesia faded. Chanjung assured Team Zhou that he would protect Mingwei, and Team Zhou remained quiet, deep in thought. As Team Zhou, who had recovered his memories, arrived at the film set with food for Mingwei, he once again expressed his affection for her. She simply smiled, savoring his expressions of love, aware that they couldn't be together forever once his memories fully returned. One evening, at Team Zhou's home, Mingwei confessed her feelings and allowed him to kiss her, reserving her first kiss for someone she truly loved. On the final day of filming their drama, Mingwei and Chanjung had to do a kissing scene. Mingwei was less nervous this time. Chanjung, on the other hand, felt a bit embarrassed since it was his first kissing scene in both TV and movies. After they finished the scene, Mingwei looked around for Team Zhou, who had decided to hide because he didn't want to see her kiss another man. Later on, they all went out to dinner together, including Shou Zhou and Ming Cao. Team Zhou paid a lot of attention to Mingwei during the meal, which annoyed Ming Cao and Shou Zhou. Ming Cao, not wanting to be outdone in showing affection, deliberately gave attention to Shou Zhou. After dinner, Ming Cao invited Shou Zhou to spend New Year's Eve together. Shou Zhou agreed because he considered her like a sister. Meanwhile, back at home, Team Zhou grew closer to Mingwei and even kissed her. But after the kiss, he apologized for being too forward in loving someone he greatly admired. On New Year's Eve, Ming Cao took Shou Zhou to a special place and gave him a scarf as a gift. They had dinner together, during which Shou Zhou told Ming Cao that he saw her as a sister. The next day, Mingwei and Team Zhou asked Shou Zhou about his relationship with Ming Cao after seeing her post about spending New Year's Eve with Shou Zhou. Shou Zhou explained that he considered Ming Cao his sister, which relieved Mingwei and cleared up any misunderstandings she had about his kindness towards her sister. On another occasion, while Team Zhou and Mingwei were at a filming location, a woman suddenly hugged Team Zhou and claimed to miss him. Team Zhou looked puzzled because he didn't recognize the woman. Shou Zhou, who was there too, introduced her as his younger sister Su Lin. Su Lin had been close to Team Zhou since they were kids, which surprised Mingwei to learn about. On their way back home, Mingwei asked Shou Zhou why Su Lin, who was supposed to be his biological sister, had a different last name. Shou Zhou explained that he actually had the Su family name, and the name he used as Team Zhou's manager was different. Mingwei was shocked to find out that Shou Zhou was the eldest son of the wealthy Su family. When they got home, Su Lin had prepared delicious dishes for Team Zhou. However, since he hadn't regained his memory, he asked her to leave and not act like they were close. Before leaving, Su Lin asked to talk privately with Mingwei to explain her past with Team Zhou. She also asked Mingwei to stop pretending to be the princess, as it made it hard for Team Zhou to remember his past. After Su Lin left, Mingwei began to realize her mistakes with Team Zhou, especially as she hoped he would remember soon. Shortly afterward, Shou Zhou approached Mingwei to talk. He wanted to reassure her that he didn't blame her for pretending to be the princess in front of Team Zhou, and hoped she wouldn't take Su Lin's words too seriously. The following day, Su Lin wanted to help Team Zhou regain his memory. She invited Mu Chong and Dao Jing to Team Zhou's house, but declined. He didn't recognize Su Lin or his parents, and the only person he trusted was Mingwei. Mingwei tried to persuade him to go with Su Lin, who genuinely wanted to help him remember. After some persuasion, Team Zhou finally agreed to go with Su Lin when Mingwei offered to accompany him. Soon after, Su Lin took Team Zhou to the library, his favorite place outside of filming locations. Then, they went to a cafe, and when Team Zhou bought a cake that was Su Lin's favorite, she felt happy, thinking he was starting to remember her. Meanwhile, Mingwei stayed quiet, observing Su Lin, who seemed to know a lot about Team Zhou. After spending the entire day with Team Zhou and Su Lin in the evening, Mingwei decided to have some drinks while sharing with Ming Cao about Su Lin's closeness to Team Zhou. Ming Cao comforted her sister, who was heartbroken and afraid of losing Team Zhou if he regained his memory. Sometime later, Team Zhou came to pick up the tipsy Mingwei to take her back to his house. He ended up carrying her, and in her semi-conscious state, she expressed her frustration with Team Zhou being too close to Su Lin and confessed her love for him, which made Team Zhou happy. The following evening, Mingwei came home to find Team Zhou's house beautifully decorated. He had done this on purpose because he had planned a romantic proposal. Team Zhou opened a ring box and asked Mingwei to marry him, promising that he would stay with her even after he remembered his past. Mingwei had feelings for Ting Zhou and decided to accept the proposal because being with him was all she truly wanted. The next day, Mingwei and Ting Zhou decided to go somewhere without telling anyone. They looked happy spending time together, doing activities like gardening and having dinner. Meanwhile, Shou Zhao, Sen Su, and Ming Cao were worried about them because they had left without their phones. After 4 days of searching, Shou Zhao finally found them in a rural area. He was very upset and scolded Ting Zhao for being selfish and not informing anyone about their whereabouts. Shou Zhao drove them back to the filming location where Mingwei had work to finish. After she completed her work, Mingwei met with Ting Zhao to return all the gifts he had given her, including the engagement ring. She realized that their time together would be short-lived, as once Ting Zhao regained his memories, he would go back to his old life without her. With heavy heart, Ting Zhao reluctantly accepted Mingwei's decision and said goodbye, leaving her in tears. From that day on, Mingwei decided to leave Ting Zhou's house, even though they still loved each other and they had to start separate lives. Meanwhile, Ming Cao continued to fight for her feelings for Shou Zhao because she didn't want her love story to end sadly like her sister's. One evening, she asked Shou Zhao to join her at a cafe, trying to express her feelings by singing a song in front of the cafe's customers. Sadly, before she could finish the song, Shou Zhao deliberately disconnected her microphone cable and told her to forget everything that happened that day. He left, leaving Ming Cao heartbroken as he didn't give her a chance to express her love. Since that night, Shou Zhao consistently ignored Ming Cao's calls and messages. But she didn't give up and went to Ting Zhou's house to ask about Shou Zhao's whereabouts. Ting Zhao called Shou Zhao and handed the phone over to Ming Cao, who wanted to talk to him. When Shou Zhao heard Ming Cao's voice, he got angry and asked her to forget about him, saying he could never like her because she wasn't the girl of his dreams. After hanging up without much thought, Ming Cao went to a bar where Shou Zhao was drinking. She intentionally dressed beautifully in revealing clothes, catching the eye of a young man who wanted to get to know her. Shou Zhao, watching from a distance, became angry at the man's flirtatious behavior towards Ming Cao. He even punched the young man and put his jacket on Ming Cao to cover her. At that moment, Ming Cao felt pleased to have received attention from the man she liked. On Chinese New Year's Eve, everyone was happy, celebrating with a family dinner. However, Ting Zhao was busy finishing a wooden carving as a gift for Mingwei. After days of hard work, he completed it and asked Zio to give it to Mingwei. When she received the special wooden carving, she was touched by his efforts and went to visit him. She found him asleep, exhausted from carving, and was saddened to see his injured fingers. Mingwei helped Ting Zhao shave to look neater when he woke up. Meanwhile, Ming Cao tried to find Shou Zhao at his usual bar, but he wasn't there. She was approached by a man she had met earlier, and they enjoyed music together. Unbeknownst to them, the bartender secretly took photos and sent them to Shou Zhao. Later, an annoyed Shou Zhao arrived at the bar and persuaded Ming Cao to go home. He even had to carry her out of the bar as she refused to leave with him. When they got home, the tipsy Ming Cao expressed her frustration to Shou Zhao for ignoring her for days. He listened to her complaints and took care of her throughout the night. The next morning, Shou Zhao kissed her because he had accepted her confession of love. At Mingwei's parents' house, Ting Zhou brought many luxurious gifts to propose to Mingwei. His polite and serious demeanor won the approval of Mingwei's parents for their daughter's relationship with him. After talking to her parents, Mingwei showed Ting Zhao her room, where he found an Italian book that triggered a memory from his past. At the same time, Dao Jin was upset with Shou Zhao and Sen Su when she heard about Ting Zhou's upcoming marriage to Mingwei. Shou Zhao and Sen Su tried to explain that they had no knowledge of Ting Zhou's marriage plans because he hadn't discussed it with them. Shortly after, when Ting Zhao and Mingwei returned home, they were surprised to find many reporters waiting for them outside. Inside, Dao Jin expressed her disapproval of Ting Zhou's decision to marry Mingwei and blamed her for supposedly pressuring him into it. Ting Zhou defended Mingwei, which made his parents even angrier, and Mu Chong eventually slapped Ting Zhou. After that incident, Shou Zhao and Sen Su tried to discuss the issue with Ting Zhou and Mingwei. Shou Zhao argued that with Ting Zhou's amnesia, the public might think Mingwei was taking advantage of him, which could harm their careers. However, Ting Zhao and Mingwei were determined to go through with the wedding, and their managers couldn't stop them. Some time later, as Ting Zhao and Mingwei began preparing for their wedding, he started having flashbacks from his past. That evening, Ting Zhao thanked Shou Zhao for always being there as a friend and manager to protect him. The following day, Mingwei, who was waiting at the civil registry office for Ting Zhao to register their marriage, was surprised when Shou Zhao invited her to the hospital. Ting Zhao had suddenly lost consciousness. They both went to Ting Zhao's room, and when he woke up, he didn't recognize Ming Wei at all. He even let Su Lin hug him when she arrived with his parents. Unexpectedly, Ting Zhao had regained his memory and forgotten all about his time with Ming Wei. When Shou Zhao broke the news to Ming Wei, she felt sad because she wasn't prepared to be forgotten by the man she loved. Shou Zhao could only ask her to stay strong. When Shou Zhao was about to take Ting Zhao home after being discharged, Ting Zhao seemed to avoid Ming Wei, who sat in the backseat and chose to sit in the front. Shou Zhao tried to remind Ting Zhao of everything that happened after the actor's accident and memory loss, even showing photos of them together, but Ting Zhao couldn't remember anything. At home, Ting Zhao saw wedding decorations and couldn't believe he had done all that. He blamed Shou Zhao for not stopping him from doing those things. Another time, Ting Zhao apologized to Ming Wei for causing her trouble and offered her compensation money. However, Ming Wei, disappointed with Ting Zhao's behavior, refused his offer. Before leaving, she asked Ting Zhao to delete her number from her phone and forget all memories with her. After she left, Ting Zhao deleted all his social media posts about Ming Wei and started to rebuild his life. He also chose to ignore her when they accidentally crossed paths in the park where they used to exercise. On another day, Ting Zhao and his lawyer asked Ming Wei to come to his house. She was surprised to learn that all of Ting Zhao's assets had been transferred to her, and he wanted her to transfer them back. Ming Wei happily agreed, as she had never been interested in Ting Zhao's wealth. After the meeting, Ting Zhao asked her to take her belongings from his house, but she refused and told him to get rid of the things that no longer mattered to her. A few days later, Ting Zhao was spotted walking in the park with Su Lin, and they were approached by several journalists who wanted to confirm Ting Zhao's recovery from amnesia. They also asked about Su Lin's relationship with him, and Ting Zhao explained that she was his relative. He asked the journalists to report accurate news about him. Unfortunately, some media outlets portrayed Su Lin as his actual girlfriend, while labeling Ming Wei as the third party in their relationship. Upon reading this news, Ming Wei felt sad. Ming Cao, unable to accept her sister being hurt, went to Ting Zhao's house to protest against the false news that implicated Ming Wei. Ting Zhao, who didn't remember Ming Cao, appeared innocent and disconnected from the news. Meanwhile, Chen Zheng came to Ming Wei's house with groceries to cook. After preparing the dishes, they had a meal together. Chen Zheng, knowing that Ming Wei was upset about the news, mentioned that he had asked his journalist friend to find out who had instructed the reporters to create this false news. At Ting Zhao's house, Su Lin finally confessed that she had informed the media about her closeness to Ting Zhao. However, she didn't expect that the news would instead put Ming Wei in a difficult position. Ting Zhao, upon hearing her confession, appeared disappointed, but since Su Lin was Shou Zhao's sister, he tried to restrain his frustration. When Shou Zhao met Su Lin, after learning about her actions causing rumors, he couldn't scold her because she seemed sad. Secretly, she felt angry with Shou Zhao and Ting Zhao for always defending Ming Wei. After numerous articles circulated labeling Ming Wei as a relationship wrecker, her new drama project was cancelled by the producer. Sen Su, who was with Ming Wei during the meeting, tried to console and encourage her. That night, Ming Cao scolded Shou Zhao, who was Su Lin's brother, for making Ming Wei suffer. She also revealed a scandalous news article about Ying Ying and Chang Yao. In their room, Chang Yao was furious with Ying Ying for exposing his wrongdoings, but she appeared indifferent because she didn't want another woman to become his victim. The next day, Ying Ying met with Ming Wei to apologize and inform her that Chang Yao was behind the cancellation of the drama and the news articles portraying Ming Wei as the third party. After a meeting with Ying Ying, Ming Wei met Chen Zheng to thank him for always protecting her. Meanwhile, Shou Zhao was annoyed by Ting Zhao's indifferent attitude towards Ming Wei, feeling that he should take responsibility for the scandal threatening her career by providing clarification to the media to stop the public from accusing her. A few days later, during the launch of a historical drama, Ting Zhao expressed his thanks to Ming Wei for looking after him when he couldn't remember anything. Although he felt sad because he couldn't recognize her, Ming Wei was relieved that she could help him during his tough times. After the event, Ming Wei walked home alone, tears streaming down her face, especially when she saw a poster of Ting Zhao. Chen Zheng, who had followed her, offered her a tissue and sat with her at a bus stop to console her. Shortly after, Chen Zheng accompanied Ming Wei home, where her parents were anxiously waiting, concerned about their daughter who had been through so much recently. On another day, Min Chung met Teen Zhou to express his anger at him for playing with his daughter's feelings. His emotions got the best of him, and he nearly struck Teen Zhou, causing Du Jin to fall while trying to protect her son. Not long after, Ming Wei received news that her father was at the police station, reported by Teen Zhou. She rushed to see Teen Zhou because she couldn't accept how he treated her father. Teen Zhou then explained the true events, which made Ming Wei feel ashamed of her father's harsh actions towards Du Jin. At the same time, Teen Zhou also felt guilty towards Ming Wei and decided to withdraw the report filed by Su Lin, resulting in Min Chung's release from the police station. Ming Wei apologized for what had happened, and he simply said he wanted to see his daughter smile again. On different occasions, Ming Cao met Shou Zhao, who was worried about Min Chung and promised to keep a closer eye on Teen Zhou. When Shou Zhao got home, he had an argument with Su Lin, who had reported Min Chung to the police. Su Lin, on the other hand, was upset with her brother for defending the Ming Wei family, which she considered less important than their own. Shou Zhao appeared angry with her, but seeing Su Lin cry, he felt guilty for scolding her and hugged his sister. A little while later, Teen Zhao, upon seeing Shou Zhao return, asked how he could apologize to Ming Wei, because he felt bad about letting Su Lin report Min Chung to the police. Shou Zhao suggested that Teen Zhao should wait for the right time to apologize to her. On another day, Ming Wei received an offer to be the lead actress in a new drama, and she didn't want to miss the chance, so she accepted it right away. Meanwhile, at Teen Zhou's place, Shou Zhao suggested that Teen Zhao should turn down the new drama offer because Ming Wei would be the female lead in it. However, Teen Zhou declined, saying he wanted to be the male lead in the drama. During lunch with Shou Zhao, Ming Cao was surprised to hear that her older sister would be in the same drama as Teen Zhao. When she got home, Ming Cao quickly told Ming Wei about this news, mentioning that Teen Zhao would be the male lead in the drama she had accepted. The next day, accompanied by Sen Su, Ming Wei met with the producer to let him know that she wanted to quit the drama she had been offered. She was ready to pay the cancellation fee. The producer then revealed that Teen Zhao had already offered to compensate the production company if Ming Wei decided to withdraw. Learning this, Ming Wei met Teen Zhao to turn down his offer to pay the cancellation fee. She explained that her decision had nothing to do with him. Teen Zhou then advised Ming Wei, as a younger actress, to be professional and not let personal feelings affect her work. After hearing this, Ming Wei met with Sen Su and decided to accept the new drama she had previously rejected, understanding the importance of being truly professional in her job. Meanwhile, while Teen Zhao was having lunch with Shou Zhao and Su Lin, he watched an interview with Ming Wei discussing the high ratings of the historical drama they had both been in. Su Lin, who noticed Teen Zhao's distraction, felt jealous and took his phone, telling him to focus on his food. Reluctantly, Teen Zhao followed Su Lin's instructions, but later he watched the interview again because he was curious about Ming Wei's opinion of him. Shou Zhao reminded Teen Zhao of the events during the filming of the drama with Ming Wei. The following day, during a reading session for their new drama, Teen Zhou tried to be friendly towards Ming Wei, who still kept her distance. When he found out that Ming Wei had a stomachache, Teen Zhou decided to bring her a glass of warm water to help. However, as he returned to her, he unintentionally overheard a phone conversation between Ming Wei and her younger sister, where she mentioned having trouble handling something. Teen Zhou began to suspect that Ming Wei might be pregnant, so he showed concern and even asked Shou Zhao to buy sour fruit for her. That evening, while sipping on his wine, Teen Zhao couldn't stop thinking about whether Ming Wei was really pregnant. Shou Zhao approached him and mentioned that he was going to have dinner with Ming Cao's family the next day. Teen Zhao eagerly offered his collection of wine as a gift for Ming Cao's father, secretly hoping that Ming Cao's parents might become his future in-laws. The next day, Shou Zhao invited his father, Su Su, to meet with Ming Cao and her parents. Unfortunately, when Ming Cao's parents arrived, Zhang Yue suddenly canceled the dinner and asked them to leave immediately, leaving Shou Zhao and Ming Cao bewildered. On way home, Zhang Yue questioned why Ming Cao had chosen to be involved with the Su family. Su Su shared with Shou Zhao that he had a past romantic relationship with Zhang Yue, but it was not approved by the Su family because Zhang Yue came from a less privileged background. Su Su was forced to end the relationship even though Zhang Yue was pregnant with their child. Over the years, Su Su had been searching for Zhang Yue because he wanted to take responsibility for their child. Hearing his father's story, Shou Zhao suspected that Ming Wei was likely his half-sister, as she was Zhang Yue's first child. Since that day, Shou Zhao's attitude towards Ming Cao began to shift, but he didn't want to reveal everything to her. He hoped that Zheng Yue would be the one to tell her family about Ming Wei's biological father. One day, Shou Zhao met Zheng Yue to encourage her to reveal the truth about Su Su continuously searching for her. He also wanted to confirm if Ming Wei was his half-sister, as Su Su had been searching for her for a long time. After hearing Zheng Yue's story, Shou Zhao would decide on his relationship with Ming Cao based on Zheng Yue's wishes. During dinner at a restaurant with her family, Ming Cheng asked her to end her relationship with Shou Zhao because he didn't want his daughter to be hurt by the wealthy Su family members. Ming Cao insisted on maintaining her relationship with Shou Zhao and left, even though Ming Wei tried to stop her. Ming Cao then went to Shou Zhao's favorite bar to talk to him, but as Shou Zhao drunk, he decided to end their relationship, saying he didn't want a serious relationship with any woman because he wanted to be free. Heartbroken, Ming Cao spent her time drinking alone at a bar until Ming Wei arrived, and Ming Cao hugged her sister while sharing the story of her failed relationship with Shou Zhao. Sometime later, Ming Wei, accompanied by her younger sister, arrived at a hotel where they would stay during the filming of her new drama. When they saw Shou Zhao and Ting Zhao, they intentionally didn't greet the two men. In their hotel room, Ting Zhao became upset with Shou Zhao for straining his relationship with Ming Wei, but Shou Zhao kept his problems to himself. On another day, Ming Wei asked Shou Zhao for an explanation about the secrets he was keeping. He remained silent until Su Su approached them both. Shou Zhao quickly asked his father to leave, even though Su Su wanted to reveal that he was her biological father. The next day, Su Su invited Ming Wei to meet, bringing expensive gifts and pretending to be her fan. Ming Wei refused Su Su's expensive gifts, finding them too extravagant. At the same time, Su Lin, who saw her father with Ming Wei, felt upset, so Su Su immediately took Su Lin away from the location. On the hotel balcony, Su Su told Su Lin that Ming Wei was her half-sister, which made Su Lin very angry. She went to find Ming Wei in the room with the drama cast and slapped her, calling her an illegitimate child. Shou Zhao quickly intervened and took Su Lin away. Sometime later, Ting Zhao, who had learned about the issues between the Ming and Texu families, offered to accompany the Ming siblings and Shou Zhao to Ming Cheng's house. During the journey, Ming Cao felt upset after discovering that Shou Zhao had distanced himself because of the secret about Ming Wei. When they arrived home, Ming Wei immediately hugged Ming Cheng and declared that he was her only father. Hearing this, her parents understood that their daughter had found out the hidden truth. Ming Cheng then sat with his wife and two daughters, assuring them that they would always be a family, no matter what. After Ming Wei and the others returned to the hotel, Ting Zhou asked Ming Wei to have a private conversation about their drama, leaving Shou Zhao and Ming Cao alone. At that moment, Ming Cao was still upset and said that she would now consider Ting Zhou as an older brother, which she had always wanted. Meanwhile, Ting Zhou tried to comfort Ming Wei, who was still feeling sad. The next day, Shou Zhao met with Ming Wei and asked her to forgive Su Su for constantly thinking about her. Ming Wei then told Shou Zhao that he didn't need to worry because she had never held any grudge against Su Su. During the shooting, Ting Zhao seemed jealous of the closeness between Ming Wei and Chan Zheng. So after they finished filming, Ting Zhao decided to approach Ming Wei again, even though his memories of their time together hadn't fully returned. Back at home, Su Lin was still upset that her father had acknowledged Ming Wei as his daughter. She insulted Ming Wei, which angered Su Su, and he slapped her. Shortly after, Su Su suddenly had a heart attack, and Su Lin rushed into the hospital. Meanwhile, at the shooting location, Ming Cao accidentally overheard a conversation between Shou Zhao and Su Lin about Su Su's condition. She then informed Ming Wei about it, and Ming Wei became worried about her biological father's condition. At the hospital, Shou Zhao accompanied Su Su, who had just regained consciousness. Before long, he also met Su Lin, who brought food for her father outside the treatment room. He asked his younger sister to accept Ming Wei as their sister, even though it was a difficult task. Back at the shooting location, Ting Zhao, while inquiring about Su Su's condition from Shou Zhao, informed Ming Wei and Ming Cao that Su Su had improved. When Ting Zhao returned to his room, he read a letter he had written during his amnesia, recalling beautiful memories with Ming Wei. After reading the letter, Ting Zhao realized how much he loved Ming Wei and started paying extra attention to her by giving her things she liked. Eventually, Ting Zhao confessed his feelings to Ming Wei and asked her for a chance. Unfortunately, Ming Wei was still hesitant, especially since she remembered how Ting Zhao had broken up with her after regaining his memories. On the other hand, when Shou Zhao saw a photo of himself with Ming Cao, he realized that he still loved her and was determined to win her back. Meanwhile, Ting Zhao continued to shower Ming Wei with attention, hoping she would open her heart to him again. One day, Ting Zhou planned a surprise fireworks display to impress Ming Wei, so he wrote a message inviting her to a specific location. On the film set, Ting Zhao secretly placed the message in Ming Wei's coat pocket. That evening, Shou Zhao joined Ting Zhao in preparing the surprise fireworks. Suddenly, they heard a woman's voice, prompting Ting Zhao to set off the fireworks. To their surprise, the woman who arrived was Ming Cao after receiving a romantic message in her coat pocket, which she mistakenly believed was written by Shou Zhao. Due to the romantic surprise, Ming Cao felt happy and finally forgave Shou Zhao for his mistakes. Shou Zhao was also delighted that Ting Zhou's mistake had helped him win back Ming Cao's heart. The following day, Su Lin said her goodbyes to Ting Zhao and Ming Wei, as she was going to continue her studies in London. She apologized to Ming Wei for her past behavior and expressed her hope for a better relationship, although she still found it difficult to fully accept that Ming Wei was her half-sister. During the shooting of the final scene of their drama, the entire crew praised Ting Zhou and Ming Wei for their excellent acting. Ting Zhou tried to signal that he wanted to talk privately with her, but she didn't pick up on his cues. A few days later, Ting Zhao felt disappointed when Shou Zhao informed him that Ming Wei had left the hotel without saying goodbye. On another occasion, Zhao went to Ming Wei's house to return Ting Zhou's phone, which he had used during his amnesia. Zhao told Ming Wei that Ting Zhou's phone was filled with photos of her, making her believe that Ting Zhou truly loved her. After hearing this, Ming Wei decided to accept Ting Zhao's dinner invitation, which made him very happy. That evening, Ting Zhao hosted Ming Wei for a romantic dinner at his house. After they finished their meal, she prepared to leave and headed towards the exit gate. However, she was surprised by the beautiful lights that lit up Ting Zhao's front yard. At that moment, Ting Zhou approached her and revealed that he had regained all his memories with her. He asked her to be his girlfriend, and when she sensed his sincerity, Ming Wei finally melted and kissed him to show that she accepted his feelings. The following day, Ting Zhou and Shou Zhao visited Ming Wei's parents' house to seek Ming Cheng's blessing. They brought wine and tried to convince Ming Cheng to support their relationship with his daughter. Ming Cheng eventually gave his blessing after Ting Zhou and Shou Zhao threatened to show videos of Ming Cheng drinking to Zhang Yuwei. In Ming Cheng's heart, he knew that the two men standing before him were the ones who could make his daughters happy. Some time later, just before Ming Wei and Ting Zhou's wedding day, Shou Zhao met with Ming Wei to let her know that Su Su would have to stay in London for a while. He had assured her that Su Su truly cared for her as his daughter. At that moment, Ming Wei also began to accept Shou Zhao as her brother, which brought him much happiness. In the end, the series concluded with the wedding celebration of Ting Zhao and Ming Wei, held in a traditional style reminiscent of their initial meeting in a historical drama. Moral lesson from the story: sometimes, when you try to light fireworks of love, make sure you send the right message to the right person, or you might accidentally start a different kind of fireworks show.